Assalamu alaikum. I am Luqman Al-Kasabany and this is 𝐂𝐸𝐲 Academy. In this episode, inshallah, we will discuss letter sin. Okay? Stay tuned.
𝐂𝐸𝐲 Academy.
So this is just to remind you that we are using and explaining from Al-Minhaj book, the official book of 𝐂𝐸𝐲 Academy. So in the last episodes we discussed until letter 𝐬, from letter Alif until letter 𝐬. Our discussion today inshallah about letter sin. Okay, so let's get started. So as always, our discussion includes 4 points. What is the point of articulation of the letter we discuss and how to pronounce it? They are not they aren't similar, by the way. And we said the point of articulation, the organ we use, how to pronounce it, how to use the organ to pronounce that letter. The next point, whether this letter is a heavy or a light letter. What is the counterpart of this letter in English? And the last point, what are the common mistakes when pronounce this letter? So let's start by the first question, which is, what is the point of articulation and how to pronounce it? The golden rule that we said before, when you want to know the point of articulation of any letter, you have to put it in the state of a sukoon and to put hamza with fatha before it. Okay, and then say as. When you make this, you know the point of articulation. So I want you now to discover by yourself the point of articulation of this letter. S. So what is the point of articulation of this letter? S. Okay, so the point of articulation is the tongue. Okay, you pronounce this letter using the tongue. And how to pronounce it? If you remember what we said when we explained and when we discussed letter 𝐬 or 𝐬 in the last episode, you will know how can we pronounce letter sin, because they are so similar from this regarding this point, how to pronounce it. We said, as we said, now we have here here's the mouth, and the tongue. Okay, we divide it into 3 parts. The top part, which is nearest to the mouth, the middle part, and the back part. Okay, so the tip of the tongue, which is the first part of the top part of the tongue, the first part, touches the tip of the tongue, touches the edge of front 2 lower incisors. Okay, the tip of the tongue touches the edge of front 2 lower incisors, this part. So the tip of the tongue touches the edge of front 2 lower incisors, as, and then the sound passes between the upper and lower front incisors, as. Okay, so this is exactly as we said in the letter 𝐬. So the tip of the tongue touches the edge of lower front incisors. Okay, and the sound passes between upper and lower front incisors, as. So the question now, if both of them are similar, so if the letter 𝐬 or 𝐬, what we discussed in the last episode, and this letter and today's letter are similar regarding how to pronounce them, so what is the difference? Okay, and this is a very important point. Okay, when they explain phonetic in English, there is something called voice and voiceless. A sound. This is what you'll find in the explanation of IPA chart. Okay, something called voice and voiceless. Okay, this regarding this related to the vibration of the vocal cords. Okay, the vibration of the vocal cords. If there is a vibration of the vocal cords, it's called a voiced letter. But if there is no vibration, it's called voiceless. So here also the difference between letter sin and letter 𝐬 or 𝐬 is the vibration of the vocal cords. The letter 𝐬, okay, the letter of the last episode, there is a vibration of the vocal cords. As if you touch your vocal cords, you feel vibration. As but in letter sin, there is no vibration of the vocal cords. As there is no vibration of the vocal cords. So the point of articulation is the same. How to pronounce? The same. But the difference is just about the qualities of this letter. The qualities. The quality is called الصفات in Arabic. So this title is so common in Arabic. Al-Makharij was-Sifat. So Al-Makharij are the same, but Al-Sifat, this is the difference between them, as there is the vibration of the vocal cords when you pronounce letter 𝐬, but there is no vibration of the vocal cords when you pronounce letter sin. Okay, I explained it in this way because this is the easiest way for you to understand it. But we will discuss this point in great detail in the part 3. This is part 1. This is our book. This is part 1 of Arabic reading. We discussed al-sifat in part 3, inshallah. So this is the difference between letter sin and 𝐬 and the point of articulation and how to pronounce both of them. So the next point, whether letter sin is a heavy or a light letter. Letter sin is a light letter, okay, because the back of the tongue is not raised. And we discussed this before. If the back of the tongue is raised, this letter will be heavy. But if the back of the tongue is not raised, this letter will be light. So, as the back of the tongue is not raised, this letter is a light letter. Se, as, se. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, se. سيقول السفهاء من الناس. Now we have 3 sin. سيقول in the word سيقول and السفهاء and الناس. So listen to this ayah again. سيقول السفهاء من الناس ما ولاهم عن قبلتهم التي كانوا عليها. سيقول السفهاء سيقول السفهاء من الناس. سيقول السفهاء من الناس ما ولاهم عن قبلتهم التي كانوا عليها. Okay, so letter sin is a light letter. The next point, what is the counterpart of letter sin? I think this is one of the easiest letters to guess the counterpart in English because letter sin looks like letter S, and this is so clear, looks like the sound of letter S. It's so clear, like smart, smartphone. Okay, smart, small, smart. Okay, so letter sin looks like letter S in English. Okay, let's move to the last point in this episode, which is what are the common mistakes when pronounced letter sin? What are the common mistakes? We said letter sin is a light letter. Okay, one of the common mistakes is making the letter sin a heavy letter, not a light one. An example, the word يسترون. Okay, when we say this word يسترون, okay, this sin is a light letter. Okay, يسترون. يسطرون. يسطرون. Okay? Some people say يسطرون. They make it a heavy letter. يسطرون. يسطرون. Okay? No, it's يسطو. Not because the next letter is a heavy one, we will make a sin a heavy letter, because this is a common mistake in general. When a light letter followed by a heavy letter, we make light letter a heavy one, or vice versa. We make the heavy letter a light one. But here because a sin it's followed by a heavy letter, we make a sin a light letter, and this is a common mistake. So don't say يسطرون, but say يسطرون. Okay? يسطرون. يسطرون. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Noon والقلم وما يسطرون. والقلم وما not yes. والقلم وما يسطرون. Okay, this is the first common mistake when pronounce letter sin. The second common mistakes, however, the second common mistake, however, is pronouncing letter sin as if it is letter 𝐬 or 𝐬. Okay, an example to clarify this point. You see this word وَاسْجُدَ. Okay, وَاسْجُدَ. This is the pronunciation of this word, the correct pronunciation of letter of this word. Some people pronounce this letter as if it is letter 𝐬 or 𝐬. How they say like this: وَاسْجُدَ, 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 وَاسْجُدَ. They whether make it between letter sin and letter 𝐬, or make it a clear letter 𝐬. وَاسْجُدَ, وَاسْجُدَ. Okay? But the correct pronunciation of this word is make it a clear letter sin. A clear letter sin. Was-jude, not was-jude. The was-jude, this is whether between letter sin and letter 𝐬, or letter 𝐬, and both of them are wrong. But pronounce it as clear letter sin 100%. Was-jude. Okay, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, كَلَّا لَا تُطِعْهُ وَاسْجُدْ وَاقْتَرِبْ. كَلَّا لَا تُطِعْهُ وَاسْجُدْ وَاقْتَرِبْ. كَلَّا لَا تُطِعْهُ وَاسْجُدْ وَاقْتَرِبْ. Okay, so I think now this is the end of our discussion today. I hope this make it easier for you to pronounce letter C and to avoid these common mistakes. And if you have any question regarding letter C, let me know in the comment section below. And the next episode, inshallah, we will discuss the shape mate of letter C, which is called letter Sheen. Okay, in the part 13 in this Arabic alphabet letters. So stay tuned. Now we came to the end of this episode. So if you want to follow up the next episodes, consider subscribing. Also, if you want a qualified Quran tutor, whether for yourself or your kids, we are providing online Quran classes. Don't forget to check out our app. See you inshallah in the next episode. Assalamu alaikum.
𝐭𝐲𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐸 Academy. Learn and enjoy.